All right, we're live. Welcome back to the stream, guys. Welcome to tonight's video. Today, we're going to talk about the Model X, the market of the Model X, the current Model X that's out there right now, and why prices have dropped. I'm going to show you some data a little bit on where I'm seeing it, and prices are going to drop because I think we're kind of at the price cap of the Model X as well. It's definitely a super expensive car, but we're going to go into the Model X. I've done 3 videos just like this where I've talked about how the prices have dropped on the Model 3, the Model Y, the Model S, and now we're finally on the Model X, which is probably my dream car at the moment. But if you're new to today's video, my name is Dennis. I've had 3 Teslas so far, a Model 3, a Model Y, and a Model S, not the X. I wish I had the X. The X is the dream car, but I've been a big fan of Tesla so far, and I just love talking about or actually executing and buying and driving these cars and buying them at the right price points, getting good finance deals, and of course selling them without losing too much money. So essentially driving for free and experiencing them. But today, we're going to go into the schedule right here. We're going to talk about the current Model X price. We're going to talk about its price history. It's super expensive in terms of what the prices have been and what it's been raised to. And then we're going to talk about the price drop or the market conditions on that and where I think the market's going to go and what price I'm going to look for if I might get into a Model X. I've always wanted the Model X. I had an order, but unfortunately something happened to it in the Tesla department, so I wasn't able to get it. And of course, Q&A throughout it, and also at the end, if you have any questions on buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. So before we get into the video, please hit that like and subscribe. And today's video is sponsored by my Calendly link. Down below in the description, you can find a link to schedule a call with me. It's like a Tesla consulting call. If you have questions on buying, financing, or even selling your Tesla, you can schedule a 15-minute call with me where we go over all your questions and I show you all my tips and tricks on what to do with your situation. And you'll get a link to my buying guide or my resource guide that has all the links to everything I use to be able to buy, sell, and finance at a good rate. And right now, my secret financing rate on my resource guide is 2.99% at 72 months. So definitely a sick rate if you need to get financing. It's the lowest I've seen, but I'm not, I'm definitely not I don't know everything. So if you know a better rate, I'd love to hear it. Please put it in the chat and so I can take a look and research it for myself. But right, let's hope everybody's having a good night today. This is the Tesla Model X, and of course, this is the Tesla Model X Plaid, a super expensive car, but it's sick, right? I mean, it really doesn't get any better than this. I think Tesla with air suspension, huge SUV with either 6, 7, or 5-seater, but you're gonna pay for it. Right now, the Model X starts at $121,000 and a Model X Plaid is almost $140,000. That's not before any options whatsoever. So the people that are buying this definitely, have that type of money and can just do stuff like this. And also there's another type of buyer that buys these type of cars. It's the same type of buyer that essentially buys like G-Wagons and really heavy SUVs. It's because of the business depreciation tax write-off, yada, yada, yada. So, and the TLDR on that is you have to buy a heavy SUV that's over 6,000 pounds, and you can use a portion of that to depreciate it, accelerate depreciation, ask your tax accountant, as everyone else says. But super expensive car. I mean, if I were to build this, I would probably get a black one with the cheap rims because I can't afford the 22s. Definitely white interior. I've always debated on the 6 or 7-seater, but I mean, most people go for the 6-seater, but I would probably go for the 7-seater just to save a little bit of money. Of course, I would skip autopilot, I'd skip full self-driving because none of that is worth it. So my total MSRP, I think $128,000 for my dream Model X. And I actually had one on order, but something happened to it because I'm going to make a video about what happened and it kind of sucks. And hopefully it won't happen to you guys, so you can check out the video when it comes out. But this next part, we're going to go into like the pricing history of all this. Like the Tesla Model X has been price increased a ton. And if you were lucky enough early in 2021, you can see right here, the Model X actually started at $90,000 for the latest refresh. So you possibly could have ordered one back then, base, 5-seater, no options, nothing, for $90K. And now currently that same one, if you were to build it, base is $121,000. So that's like what, $31,000 increase, which is just absolutely insane. And at the same time, the Plaid, when it released, was $120,000, and now it's $138,000 or $39,000. It's only a $19,000 increase versus the long range, which is a better value, but they've raised the price completely to its absolute maximum. So I think this is really the top of what people want to pay for these SUVs. We're starting to see it in the SUV market. G-Wagons like 6 months ago were 100 or 50K to 100K over, and now they're down to about 20 to 30, 40, even 40K. I see some go to MSRP, but of course they go super quickly. But this is where I think the Tesla market, the Tesla Model X market, is starting to soften a lot. So if you go to, well, this is cars.com, but let's skip ahead to Car Gurus, which tracks all the different Model X's, well, all cars, all used car prices across the country for all different models. But if you can see right here, the Tesla 2022 Tesla Model X has down 4% in the past 30 days in terms of pricing, and down 9% in the past 90 days. So prices are definitely starting to crash. But when I searched to go look to see what is the cheapest one in the whole nation currently for 2022, it's still up there. It's still up there. So right now it's $119,000 for the cheapest used Model X in the whole country, and they just did a $1,000 price drop, and the one above it at $119,500 did another $1,000 price drop. But basically, this same exact one built, you're losing money right off the bat if you buy it and try and flip it because of taxes and everything, unless you live in like New Jersey or something like that. So right off the bat, the Tesla Model X is certainly starting to soften, and you can see it super drastically. And this is why I created this video on the Model X prices dropping or crashing or softening, is because it's starting to show really badly in the auction. And of course, this is only one car that went to the auction, but I think it's foreshadowing what's going to be happening with the Model X, because this car is a super expensive car and people do not want to pay that much money anymore. So you can see early in August, they're all going for like 120, 125, even 130 with 68 miles. So these are all flippers, people just buying it. They got locked in at a lower rate at like $90,000, and now they're just, and now they're just trying to flip it super quickly. So 125, 122, 121, 130, 129, 787 with 68 miles. So these are all flippers basically. But this one right here that just happened a few days ago, this past week, 110,575 with 1,100 miles. So still very low miles. It doesn't show the condition of how it actually was or what it actually is in terms of like the quality of the car. I mean, it could be completely screwed up and damaged, but usually it would say a condition like that. But throwing a low number like that is going to spook a lot of people, a lot of dealers that are trying to buy back and forth within the auctions like this. So this is super interesting. That's such a low number, but it's definitely foreshadowing of what's going to be happening with the Model X. And so what I'm actually going to be doing, I would love to get into a Model X at like that $90K price point, because I just sold my Model S for about a little bit over that, but I bought it for $87 out the door. So I'd love to be able to get into a slick, brand new or new-ish, new style with the freshness for about that $90K. Probably it's not very realistic, but we could start to see 2022 Model X's and definitely 2021s or 2020s creep under that 100K level, and that's probably a sweet buying point if you're interested in a Model X. But let me know what you guys think on this. Like, the Model X is definitely starting to soften a little bit because it's such an expensive car, but it is still in demand a lot. I mean, I feel like a lot of Tesla owners would love to have a Model X for their family or even their wife, but super sick. Hoy fam, where'd you get that refund? That's a secret, but I mean, I'm just kidding. Go to my channel and go to a video that I posted, I think like 2 weeks ago, called "Do This Before You Buy a Tesla." Update it. It goes into which credit union it is, so you can take a look, and it actually goes through like how you to join. It's super easy, the rate, the term, everything, super sick. Leandro Marquez, I already ordered the Model S. The delivery is September 26th, October. Wait, hold on. Let me do this. Right before the 5K increase. Right, been looking at Model X videos. Beautiful car. Maybe one day in the future. S, okay. It's a beautiful car. Like I love the X. We had it for about 5 months, put 6,000 miles on it, drove it a lot, drove it to like Joshua Tree, Palm Springs, even Vegas. Actually, no, we didn't go to Vegas, but San Diego like a handful of times. But the S and the X, both beautiful Teslas, great Teslas, because they have air suspension. I think that's really the kicker in the feature that separates it from the Model 3 and the Model Y. It's just that little bit of comfortness, because the Model 3 and the Model Y, sorry to anyone that has one or is ordering one, the suspension is not that good. I've been driving a RAV4 for a little bit these days, and even the RAV4 is better. I'm in an Altima right now. It's way better as well in terms of suspension. It's just something about the heavy battery or the heavy EV battery plus the sport suspension that they're trying to do. I mean, kudos to them for trying to make it, super sporty, but it's just not a comfortable ride at all. But yeah, this was my quick video on the Model X. Is certainly softening. I wish I could afford one, but maybe I might be able to in the next few months as prices start to correct itself or even, crash. But super cool car. I'm definitely going to be monitoring these auction values on what's going to be happening. If these get into hundreds, the 100K mark, I mean, there is a good amount of Model X's for sale, 280 across the country. And they're just all over the place. But you can tell the flipper cars at least, because flippers buy white. I mean, I bought white. It's the cheapest build you can get. You can get it for cheap, and then you don't have to pay too much, and then you can get out of it without losing too much as well. But it looks like some of these are actually really well built. Like, I think those look like the base rims. Oh, here's the 22s. So that person paid a good amount of money. Base rims. So tons of people just got it, saw that they could make a quick buck. I mean, you can't necessarily blame them, right? If they got it for 90K with taxes and fees out there, they're probably at 100. And if they were to sell it for 110, 120, 115, I mean, you can wait for another Model X. I mean, I definitely could. But okay, going back to the questions. The 2021 Model X refreshers might drop to your price range. Yeah, no, it might. And that would be a nice car to get. I think the 2021s, even the 2020s, might get to that 80 to 90, which would be a sweet price point. But the interesting thing is, like, what is this going to do to the 2017s or even the 2016s? I think the last time I checked, they're in the high 50s, but here we go. There's one finally in the 40s. So this is going to really compress these prices down or push these prices down. And we're getting into Model Y territory. So that's a good question. Do you want a used 2017 Model X that potentially will have a lot of problems for you, or a 1 to 2 year old Model Y that's smaller, more newer, that may have too many issues and probably have a better battery range at the end of the day? All right, going back to the questions. Surudra P. I ordered a Model long range 7-seater on August 20th. EDD is December 22. Will it be in December or January 22? Wow. So you just ordered a 7-seater on August 20th, so a couple weeks ago, and the EDD is already December? That's interesting, because I've been making a lot of videos about how the Model Y has hit the price cap as well, and the demand is probably starting to tone down a little bit because of, it could be because of the price of it, the interest rates, or even that tax credit that's a little looming. But either way, Suraj, I would try and push it to January, just because Tesla is probably going to announce the tax credit and what's going to happen to it in January 1st. So I'd probably push it to next year, unless the tax credit doesn't mean anything to you and you don't care for it. But it's most likely going to be December. I feel like Tesla's going to have a lot of backouts in this next quarter, which is going to push people with orders they're going to try and push people to take delivery right away. So your next question is, how can I move the order to 2023? You can try and turn it into a base Model Y, change it to like white color with cheap options, because they don't want to deliver those. Tesla wants to deliver the most expensive cars that they can, so they can retain the profit and revenue for the next one. But yeah, I'll stick around for a few more seconds if anybody has any other questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video on the Model X. I'm definitely keeping an eye out to see if the prices will start to come down. I mean, I'd love to have one, but you know, it's also a super expensive car. I actually had an order for one at 105 plus all the options, and it came out to like 121,000 with tax and everything, which was just... I don't think I could have stomached that. And it's a good thing I didn't, because if I would have bought it, I probably would have been break even or even negative right off the bat driving it off the lot, which is definitely scary. But at least I would have been able to drive a sick car for a short amount of time, which is the goal, right? Like driving these cool cars, experiencing them, and then just moving on to the next one. Alondra, yeah, thank you. My design looks nice. Yeah, I wish I could the black with the white interior and just like tinted all around. From my friend in OC Tint Solutions, Jason. It's a fantastic job. He actually had one in the shop when I came by to tint the Model S. Super sick. I wish I could just black it out completely, and I'd probably keep this car for a good amount of time just because it's a sick Tesla, and I think it checks a lot of boxes. And the funny thing is, I say every Tesla that I've owned checks a lot of boxes, and the truth is they're just really good daily drivers. Like no gas is great. Oh, sorry. No gas is great. And the autopilot is great, just being able to sit back, relax, and just chill on your drive. So definitely worth to get a Model X if you can afford it, or if you have a business that you can write it off and appreciate it, like whatever percentage. Alondra, I want them to make their front emblem logo shine up like the Mercedes. I mean, I feel like that's an interesting one, because I feel like someone should have done that already. Some like Chinese part company should have done like a front emblem like that to put it right there to light up. I can't believe I haven't seen that yet. I mean, I feel like that's an easy modification that someone can hook it up in, or some shop that specializes in LED or something like that. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, or guys and girls, thanks for watching this quick stream on the Model X prices crashing. I hope you enjoyed it, or please hit that like if you enjoyed it. Comment below if you have any questions. I look at them on a daily basis. And if you want to support the stream, you can hit my buy a coffee link down below in the description. You can support my autopilot drives with as little as $5, and I usually like to get iced coffee. So it really means a lot that you're here and watching. And good night. Thank you.